If you were offered $1.2 million every month to guard a lighthouse, would you have the guts to take that job? There wouldn't be a boss breathing down your neck. You could sleep whenever you want, wake up whenever you want, go out fishing. But your only real job would be to make sure the light at the top of the lighthouse doesn't go out. And for that, you'd get paid a $1.2 million a month. So why is no one willing to do this job? You'd probably say no too once you learn the real deal. Let's take a look at it. This is the Jamin Lighthouse. Once upon a time, there was this awesome sailor named Captain Marcia, known for his crazy sea adventures. One night, while he was sailing through a really dark spot in the water, his ship hit some huge rocks underwater. It put holes in the ship, and it flipped over, causing a ton of damage. After that incident, the captain thought to himself that there had to be a solution to this problem. We need to be able to spot this danger early and avoid the problem. Now, if we look at the ocean, you know how massive it is. Just hearing the name Pacific Ocean can make people break a sweat. Globally, 71% of the Earth is covered in water, divided into 4 oceans: Atlantic, Pacific, Indian, and Arctic. The Pacific Ocean is the biggest one. It's so huge that it can swallow up 148 million square kilometers of land, while the entire landmass is only 165 million square kilometers. There are only a few tiny islands in this ocean. There are some places where no human has ever set foot. Now, if someone were to accidentally get lost in the Pacific Ocean, finding them would be nearly impossible. Back in the day when sailors went on their journeys, they had no clue how far the next land was, or even which way to go. Navigation was a huge issue because there was no GPS or any system to guide sailors about the route. GPS was invented in 1973 and became available to the public in 1978. Sailors faced a lot of trouble when things went wrong, like Captain Ellis, who got stuck in a huge mess one night when clouds suddenly covered the stars and everything went dark. With those clouds came a storm, and they lost their way at sea. When morning came, they had no idea where to go. They had run out of food, and the crew members were starting to suffer from hunger and thirst. They couldn't drink the seawater because it wasn't safe. After a long time, they finally spotted land and were saved. So it was about to kick off the world's first lighthouse in Egypt, right by the Mediterranean Sea, in the ancient city of Alexandria. The ruler back then was Ptolemy II of Philadelphus. His kingdom was a major hub for trade and culture at the time. But the biggest problem for this kingdom was its location. If you look closely at the picture, you can see that to get to the city's edge, ships had to navigate through some tricky waters. Plus, check out all those rocks. When trading ships passed through at night, they had to be super careful because those rocks were lurking underwater. The ships were crashing against the rocks and sinking, and their cargo was getting lost, causing a lot of damage to the kingdom. King Ptolemy called in the top experts and brilliant architects of the time, Sost and Sinat, to help with the safety of his kingdom's marine routes. Together, they came up with an amazing plan and built the world's first lighthouse, which became one of the greatest engineering marvels of the ancient world, known as the Pharos of Alexandria. This lighthouse had a fire that burned brightly, visible for miles. Back then, there was always light, and they constantly supplied oil and wood. Because of this, the lighthouse was considered one of the 7 wonders of the world. But it wasn't just its size that was impressive, its design was genius too. The architects used mirrors and lenses to amplify the light, making it easier for ships to navigate safely from far away. Once this lighthouse was built, sailors were really happy because they could easily cross those rocky waters. This way, it became the world's first symbol of safety. The concept of lighthouses spread worldwide, especially for sailors. Initially, lighthouses were only built along coastlines, but as trade expanded, there was a need for lighthouses in the middle of the ocean to guide ships along trade routes and keep them safe from rocky areas. That's why you can find lighthouses in various locations out at sea. At first, they used to light fires, but it wasn't practical to keep burning wood, oil, or coal every day. Candles, gas lamps, and oil lamps were around, but their light wasn't super bright. Then when electricity was produced and lighting innovations happened, lighthouses started switching to electric bulbs because they were brighter. But still, lighthouses had a way of reflecting light for miles, And the answer lies in the lenses. Up until 1800, these reflectors were placed behind the light source. But engineers back then realized that they could focus the light even more with lenses. Put it in front of the light. The issue was that the thicker the lens, the less light would get through. That's when French physicist and engineer Fresnel came in with an amazing solution. He made the lens thinner and designed it in such a way that all the light focused on a single point. This allowed the spread out light to be directed in one single direction. Nowadays, most lighthouses use Fresnel lenses. This innovation helped ships easily detect dangers with the support of lighthouse systems. I told you about the job at the Juman Lighthouse, where you can earn $1.2 million. All you have to do is make sure the lighthouse light stays on. So are you guys interested in taking this job? This lighthouse was built in ancient times, and it revolutionized marine trade safety around the world, which was a great achievement by the ancient kings. I hope you all liked the video. If you want to see more videos like this, please subscribe to our channel. See you in the next video. Take care.